Divisive is the 8th studio album by American heavy metal band Disturbed, produced by Drew Falk. It was released on November 18th, 2022 via Reprise Records. Ricky Aarons wrote, overall, Disturbed's new album is a pretty good record. Is it great? That decision may be divisive. He went on to praise the heavier approach on the album. That's about all I know about this record. One guy said it's all right. Is it great? All right.
It's divisive.
Divisive, produced by the great Drew Falk.
Drew
Yeah,
Falk.
have you heard of Mr. Fuck before?
Wow. Young, no.
No fucks.
No fucks for Drew Fuck.
Okay.
Look at my field, how barren my field is. My fuck field is barren. I have no fucks to give for Drew Fuck.
Okay. Sorry, Mr. Fuck.
You can fuck off, Drew Fuck.
So, this isn't your type of music. I'm imagining you didn't like this one.
Well, it's my type of music, but I just don't like this band. There's better versions of this out there.
Or any other band. Like, okay, who's a better version?
Band. Yeah. I think Evanescence and Korn do this better than these guys.
You didn't like the Korn album we did either. You don't like Evanescence. Nobody likes
Korn
Evanescence. They got like one song.
Did we do a Korn album?
Yeah, Follow the Leader.
We did. I like that one.
You hated it.
I reckon I rated that like a 6 or a 7.
No, you hated it. You complained the whole way.
5.
You didn't want to hear about the band members because it was too freaky deaky for you, their history. You got all upset.
I think you're just doing revisionist history here, and if we went back and listened to the episode, you'd be completely wrong. So you go hang out with Drew Fuck and go fuck yourself.
I think we'll find that you whined about pretty much everything on this album.
I think I whine about every album and film that we do. Our constant listeners have come to figure this out. And honestly, I don't know why I keep coming back.
The money. The millions of dollars.
Oh,
Groupies.
I've wasted it all. Have you seen I had to sell the West Wing, and now I'm living in a tiny home down by the river. It's not quite a van down by the river, but there's a van attached to the front of the tiny home. So
well, your life's quite depressing. I don't think we want to hear about it. This album.
Listening to this album really cheered me up.
It's a pretty upbeat rock record. Yeah.
All right, tell us why.
Well, it's just upbeat. It's not a downer album where it's all drony. It's kind of every song's pretty much. There's a formula on this record, isn't there? Like,
yeah, I think pick setting 1 on your Digitech distortion pedal and leave it. Don't touch it. Don't even think about it.
Oh, I mean, it's very much the pop song format. First chorus, bit of a bridgy, solo-y thing, chorusy.
Yeah. Song 2. Like that.
Yeah, they have a thing. They do, don't they?
Well, look, listening to it, I thought you get all these bands that go through their career and you're like, oh, I wish they'd put out an album like their first 2 albums when they were good. Well, I think Disturbed are kind of the flip side of that, and that they keep doing the same thing. I guess people keep buying it, but it didn't excite me, Dan. This didn't have any fucking energy. It was just another Pro Tools metal album that seems to be the thing at the moment. It's just perfect.
Well, looking into it, I was surprised how popular this band is. They're like, I think this is the 8th album to be released at open at number 1. Like, they pretty much kill it every time. And watching them live, the sound has not changed much over the years. That's what I'm saying. They're very much there's a formula. They stick to it, and people like it.
People are buying it. But would you say their most records sold would be in America? I reckon.
Yeah.
Yeah, just they've got their fan base. They're sticking to it. They're like they're the Donald Trump of rock and roll.
Well, that's right. I don't know what the hell you're talking about, but they're America's the big population. Europe would be number 2. Everywhere else is basically you're living in a shithole. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, you're a moron if you're living in a country like New Zealand or something like that with a tiny little population of sheep-faced idiots.
COVID-free, just fondling sheep.
COVID doesn't exist anymore. Let's face it. No. Get over it, Brad.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. What was I going to say? How did you stumble across Disturbed? What was your disturbing discovery of Disturbed?
I was hearing Down with the Sickness back in the day when it came out, and not really being totally into it. They've been a band that's been accused of not quite being heavy enough. And I listened to it. I thought it sounded a little like a pop metal band, had little keyboards and stuff. But then I remember, Zack Snyder, he made that Dawn of the Dead movie. It was really cool.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah. The song was all over that. And I was listening. I watched that movie a number of times. I bought the DVD and started liking that song. I bought their album back in the day and didn't like it at all. It sounded thin, not a lot of bass. Some cheesy keyboards. I don't really care for it. It was a bit repetitive. There was like 1 or 2 good bits, but and haven't bothered with them ever since. But occasionally, every now and then, lately, I've been seeing music videos of theirs and quite liking what they're doing. So I thought I'd check this album out.
And your thoughts? You hit play. How'd you feel?
First song's a banger. It's a great song. Let me see. I'll just consult my notes. What's it called? Hey You. Good song. And then I remember when I hit the second song, Bad You, I went, hang on. Is this the same song? I thought, did I miss something? Oh, it's a different song. Yeah. And then it sort of carries on a bit like that. To me, the standout songs were Hey You, maybe Bad Man, but that's also a song that might wear out on you pretty quickly. And Part of Me.
Real quick. Yeah.
I like that one as well. Part of Me.
Okay.
The rest is good enough. There's nothing bad. There's nothing.
It's also the world on fire.
Yeah, it's something you put it on, it goes right through to the end. There's nothing to take you out of it, but then I don't think there's anything too brilliant apart from the first song, which I think is, the big song of the album.
Can we talk about the elephant in the room? Track in the middle. So the ballad of the, I forget what it was called, but it featured Ann Wilson of Heart.
Yeah.
Right? Now, if you're the singer in a rock band like Disturbed, average singer at best, right? Like a good guttural sort of metal singer, but then they always have the ballad where they try and sing. Now, I think these guys had a moderate hit with a cover of Sound of Silence, which I found completely unlistenable and horrible because the dude cannot sing, right?
Well, I think you'll find that was actually a really big hit.
Sure. Mediocre for, I don't know. Yes, you're fine.
I agree with you, though, because I really love Sound of Silence. And when I heard that song, I was like, oh, they've ruined the fuck out of that song quite a bit, haven't they? Yeah.
Everybody told me how
boring.
Great he sings
it's boring
it.
String arrangement and
painful. And anyway, so they've obviously tried to capitalize on that big hit, that worldwide sensational hit that you could not get away from, Sound of Silence by Disturbed. So they've tried to do another little ballad, right? So it's gentle guitars and he comes in warbling away, slightly off key, doing his thing, and it's a Disturbed ballad. And then second verse, Ann Wilson of Heart, who can fucking sing the phone book and it would just sound amazing. bitch got pipes, right? And that's the biggest mistake the Disturbed team producer could have ever made, because she far outshines everything else that he puts on the album in one fucking verse. She's just on point, on key, sounding amazing, and then he tries to sing with her, and to me, to my untrained ear, it was embarrassing for Disturbed.
Yeah, I think it's fine. I think people will gobble it up. It's nothing special. It's all right. Apparently, she's a big fan of the band and wrote a letter to them saying, I love you so much.
Oh.
And they said, hey, come on, sing a song with us. And she said, cool.
Okay.
I'm sure she's listening in right now, and her feelings are hurt because you're talking badly about her friends.
Well,
you think you're a bad
like
person.
Friends, but I like you. All right, that's fine. Don't have to like everybody.
Yeah, whatever. I think it's fine. Get through it. I have to say, their covers are really cool. Like, they did Land of Confusion, the Genesis song.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a really great cover.
I think that's their best song. I think, they jumped on the bandwagon that Alien Ant Farm started with Smooth Criminal again. A great singer, great little rock band, Alien Ant Farm. Remember them? They had a couple of great songs. Then disappeared. Yeah. I lost my fucking point. God, I'm good at this podcasting shit. You take over. Oh, we were talking about
it's
covers.
Fine. Yeah.
Yeah. Land of Confusion. I actually did enjoy that cover version. That's the only Disturbed that I would play, without being told to listen to it. That's good. But that is a throwback to how good Phil Collins is, because he was in Genesis.
I think it's just a really good song, and they did justice to it. Good on them.
Good on them. Good on you, boys.
Pat on the back, Disturbed. Good guys.
He's the guy with the he's got the little like chin horns, doesn't he? He's got like
a piercing where these two metal things come out of his bottom lip. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Does he still have that? Is that his trademark? Is that his
I've seen him with them and without them, but he had them for a long time. Yeah, that was kind of his thing.
Oh, right. You think they'd they'd get caught on things? You couldn't wear it. A COVID mask would have put a dampener on facial piercings, wouldn't it?
I was thinking more about oral sex. Imagine getting caught in the hairs.
Nobody's got hairs anymore, Daniel. Jesus.
You get caught in a
bald from the eyebrows down. You know that.
Flap of skin.
And a ham sandwich.
Wouldn't that be awkward? Oh, sorry, Mum. Yeah.
Is your mum there?
No.
Tell her to leave the room. We're talking about inappropriate things.
No, okay, I'll change the subject. But yeah, good enough, isn't it?
This album was not good enough. No, I thought it was. This album made me, like, after 10 years of not playing music, made me think, anybody can do this shit. It's all just marketing. It's all just piercings and the look and money to put anything out there and just make sure people hear it. If you make sure people hear it, then somebody's going to fucking buy it. Listen
they
to
do
it.
have that heavy metal branding thing where they're called Disturbed, and then they got that cartoon character they have on every cover called The Guy, which is basically, I don't know, some dude in a hoodie with evil eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
like you get Avenged Sevenfold, you got the skull with the little bat wings on it, and Eddie from Iron Maiden and all that stuff. Megadeth, they got Vic Rattlehead, yeah.
It's like a boy band of heavy metal. It's Disturbed. It feels very marketed. Could have come out of a television show. And then it's very cookie cutter. I'm sick of, I want a rock album to come out that doesn't sound like they spent 5,000 hours in the studio on Pro Tools doing it all digitally. I want something that's just fucking raw, in the room, bunch of mics, Get it done. Give us some fucking passion. Tired of all this horse shit, overproduced crap.
I did think the kick and the snare are kind of a funny sound. Like they sound, it's sort of like the kick and the snare are exactly the same thing, except one's pitched a bit higher than the other.
Yeah.
But did strike me as not very real sounding.
It's all quantized and sampled, and I'm sure there's a drummer that plays the bass track, but then they just line it all up in Pro Tools to the, we've got to move that to the time and get it bang on the metronome. And then every time he hits the kick, it's like, we'll add this little sample to make it sound thicker. And it's got no soul. It's soulless metal. It's, ugh.
Yeah, it's getting a bit that way, a bit overproduced in metal.
It's like we talked last week about Garbage, about how it was just 3 producers overproducing it, and it lost everything. Songwriting gets lost in it. Like, you can have a shitty song, but have a great, like, group, like, chemistry when you record it live. I mean, there's some shit songs on Californication by the Red Hot Chili Peppers, but it sounds great. It's got energy.
Quite a few, wouldn't there? Oh, that was back when they were having a bit of resurgence.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a weird one too, because they had, what was that song that it's sped up on the music video? Like it's almost twice as fast as the album version of the song. It's quite a few.
Are we talking about Disturbed or the Chili Peppers?
Chili Peppers, one of their songs. They sped it up in the music video. And the album was slow. Yeah.
Oh, not to know that one.
Anyway,
you know what I'm saying? Like, they're a band that it seems like they get in a room and hack it out. And I'm sure the vocals are all added later and stuff, but it feels like 4 guys making music in a room. And there's space in the recording, and there's fucking, like, when you look at the waveform of the song, there's peaks and valleys, and there's, fucking dynamic range. Whereas you look at Disturbed, it's just a big square fucking brick of noise.
I don't know. Wasn't Californication? Didn't they have? Wasn't there a controversy about they brickwalled that one? Like
it wasn't brickwalled. When they recorded it, they had digital peaks, so they've got the highs and lows and the valleys, but the a lot of the singing is distorted because they recorded it too hot. So he peaks that out a lot, and so when you listen to it on headphones, the vocals crack a lot. But yeah, it's definitely not a brick wall. No way.
Rick Rubin's worth the money, isn't he? Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Yeah, he has that problem quite a bit.
Bad. Yeah.
Yeah, I've heard he barely turns up to the studio. I was watching a thing on it. He's recording like 3 or 4 albums at a time. And what he does is he has teams of different engineers, and they just set up the rooms and do the recording and stuff. And he pops in once in a while and goes, okay, sounds good. Or he goes, I think you need to think about this a bit more.
Yeah. It's all about the ZNA. Yeah.
But there's quite a few records he's done. Like the Metallica one was the one that got fucking blasted and brickwalled that everyone complained about. That was a Rick Rubin album.
Oh, was that Magnetic?
Death Magnetic, yeah. Was it Death Magnetic?
That was it was. That was the one. Yeah, not Hardwired. Solid mastering, yeah. But he did, unexpectedly, he did a Weezer album, that Make Believe one. And I remember reading about how the band came in and they had their album, and he was like, it doesn't sound Weezery enough. Go away and work more on it. And so they went away and worked more on it. And I think they got a worse album out of it. Like, there's demos that have been released that sounded great, but Make Believe was a pretty meh Weezer album. Not that Weezer are making any good albums anymore. That's a whole nother debate, which we may have had in an earlier episode. Yeah. So I don't know if I'd hire Rick Rubin. Maybe.
I've heard people say, like, he was barely there. We don't know what the fuck he did for the money. And there's other people who praise him and go, he got the best out of us.
Yeah. Maybe that's it. Maybe having Rick Rubin, produced by Rick Rubin, that's going to sell albums. You know, maybe that's what you need.
Maybe he just says to everyone, not good enough, dig deeper. And sometimes it's true, and sometimes they overthink it and fuck it up.
Yeah. All right, I'm recording Metallica this week. All right, Lars, it doesn't sound Metallica-y enough. Go away, do better. All right, this week I've got fucking Weezer's coming in. It doesn't sound Weezery enough. Rivers, make it more Weezery. That's what you need. Inspiration.
There's that thing where he said, something wasn't happening with toxicity, so he put Serge Tankian in his library of his house and said, pick a book, any book, and open it up and then read it. And he found the passage, and that became the lyrics. By the inspiration for the lyrics of the song, and it all came together.
Rubin's getting it done. It's like when we receive emails here at Pointless and Confused headquarters, and people say, your podcast sucks, do better. And we do. Listen to us now. Like, this is, I mean, we're almost at 100 episodes, and I think this is the best one we've ever done.
Right. Well, so did you like any songs on the album? Skippability?
I kind of like you. Like, if you're in the right mood, you can put it on. The first track, yeah, it's good. Honestly, any of them you could put on if you wanted just a chug-a-chug song to drive down the road to. Apart from the one they did with Ann Wilson, the ballad. So, yeah, pretty high skippability on my average day. But if you wanted some chug-a-chug, you could pick any. Yeah. How about you?
I think if I was introducing someone to this band or this album, I'd play them Hey You and go, hey, the rest of it's not too dissimilar from that one. And that's the good one.
You got it. This sums it up. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's some songs like Part of Me, I thought it was good, but it's not quite epic, and the rest is okay. It all sort of gets by, but I can't say there's really many more high points than the first song, and then it's all sort of flat after that. Nothing low, nothing up, but just flatlining, really. But
were you
okay.
Like me thinking that they were going to end with a cover song? I thought they were covering Tom Petty with Won't Back Down. I thought it was going to be. No,
I don't really. No, I just sort of put it on, listen to it. I didn't really look at the song titles.
Oh, that's right. Okay. All right.
Yeah. So you're kind of iffy on it, really.
Real iffy. You know, like when you recommended it or when you selected it, I thought, all right, it's modern. This might, this could be solid, but no. Once again, I am let down by your musical tastes.
Yeah. Shall we rate it? What do you rate this? Out of 10, what are you going to give it?
Wow, we're straight into it. Okay, I'm going to give it, I'll never, ever, ever, ever put it on again, so I'm just going to give it a 1. Lip piercings out of 10. Sorry, team at Disturbed. I'm giving you that 1 because of Ann Wilson's involvement, and she sounds amazing, and she should do more. Did you hear her singing Stairway to Heaven, Led Zeppelin, at the can't remember what it was. Obama was there. It's amazing.
No, I couldn't give a fuck about that. Yeah.
Not even, it was a rainy night when I pulled up on that. That one.
No.
You know that one? All I want to do is make love to you. Classic.
Oh, thank you. What am I going to do? I'm going to give it a... It's tough when there's nothing wrong with it, but only a little bit good with it. A lot of average.
Mm.
I feel like a 6.5. It's like a lot of average.
How? Yeah, it's average.
Yeah.
It's one song. I'd recommend one song. Oh, it's kind of 6.5. You're allowed to hurt people's feelings, Dan.
No, I'm just gonna go. It's Hey
It's a
You
pass.
is going into like the playlist,
Oh, the list. Yeah, okay.
you know, the awesome playlist, and then the rest of the songs I could listen to the album again anytime, and then wouldn't be too worried about it. But this,
Mm.
yeah, it gives what it does, and it does it okay, but nothing epic except for the first song. That's pretty good.
And so that's worth a 6.5. Look, I'm not judging your score.
Well, there's nothing, like I say, 5. If you say 1 out of 10, 5's average, and there's a lot of average on here with a couple of good bits. That's how I'm thinking of it.
That's a 3 at best. Okay. That's right. Well, if you're adding a song to your list, it's
like if this album was a prostitute, you'd get a blowjob, but she's not going to take the gum out of her mouth.
right.
Yeah, that's the level of effort we're talking about. But it's still a blowjob at the end of the day.
It's just Disturbed showing you their trick, you know?
Yeah.
They're there in the car with their gum in their mouth, showing tricks.
Yeah. It's like picking up a 50-year-old woman who's not terrible, but what else are you going to do, really? I mean, that's the only thing on offer.
Pretty good. Good enough.
Good enough.
But it's not. It's a 1. It's not. This is like you're driving the street looking for that 50-year-old lady, and there's just nothing that floats your boat. There's interest from afar. Like you're driving, you look out the front window, and at the end of the street on the corner, you see something that looks like it has potential. And then as you get closer, it's like a toothless 78-year-old.
I wouldn't go that far. It's not a toothless 78-year-old.
Wow. Yeah, I gave it a 1. So.
Oh, that's rough. 1. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really rough.
Hey, I had to listen to this thing. I gave it 3 full listens, hating almost every one of the 37 minutes and 49 seconds or however long the album is. I give it that. It's concise. It's under 40 minutes. So that's another reason
points.
for the 1.
I give them points for that as well. Like
just for leaving fast enough, you get a point.
Yeah, not dragging it out like a lot of albums we've done here. We've thought, fuck, they dragged this shit out, didn't they? Like there's a few songs that could have got rid of. Come on, it would have been a lot better. They didn't. Yeah, they didn't do that. They got in, got out, delivered the goods. And
do you think this album was just fulfilling a contract though? Like, with COVID's hit, we got some downtime. Let's, we've got an 8-album deal. Let's just knock this last one out of the park.
Well, I think if you're a Disturbed fan, they're like, great, Disturbed killed it again.
You're fucking loving it, aren't you?
Yeah. If you're if this is, if you like their other stuff, this is this, like the new stuff. You've got this already. Let's face it. And you weren't disappointed.
If you have a Disturbed tattoo, you're gonna love this album. You're gonna love this album. 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
But if you don't like Chugga Chug and Disturbed and what's his thing that he did that time, that monkey noise? Yeah. I can't believe we got 30 minutes into this episode and neither of us did the ooh-wah-ah-ahs.
I think if you're a Disturbed fan, you're happy, but if you're a periphery Disturbed fan, you're still going to be a periphery Disturbed fan afterwards. You're going to be like, it's not enough to get me on board.
If you're on the cusp, if you like one song, it's not going to bring you any deeper in it. And if you didn't like Disturbed before this,
the fuck is at the door? Oh well, let's wrap this up. I got someone at the door.
Okay, happy Halloween.